Welcome to episode 4 of Faith It Till You Make It, your favorite podcast where faith meets entrepreneurship and business. I am so excited. One, I just want to shout out y'all from last week. I got some DMs from people and they were so nice and appreciative of the information given on the podcast. So I just want to say thank you because for you to take your time out of your day to reach out and say how much you like the podcast or how much you appreciate it. I really am grateful for that. And so make sure y'all keep it up. If y'all have any questions or if you just want to, say hello, make sure you DM me or send me an email. My social media handle on Instagram is the Clarissa Christine. But we're going to get into today because I'm excited about this topic because if you are a business owner or honestly, this is going to help you for life. This is not even just because you're a business owner or anything. This is going to help with life, period, and I can promise you that. So today we're going to be talking about investments that matter. And a lot of times in business, the investments that you hear about are in stock portfolios. Now NFTs are a big thing, and that's important. Your stock portfolio is important if you're going to be investing, hoping for a greater return. But the investments that matter when you're a business owner and as you're trying to grow, period, as a person, are going to be your time, people, and your money. Those are the three most important investments that you can make. I really want to say time is your most important investment because the time you put into how much you make money, what you're doing to make money, whether it's profitable or not, the time that you put into people and relationships. But we're going to discuss all three because they all have different areas where I really want to hone in on how we can be better at making sure we invest in where it matters. And so our time, I noticed for me as an entrepreneur that I couldn't spend so much time watching and listening to things that wasn't going to push me towards my goal. For example, I am, this is going on my third year as an entrepreneur. And when I first started, maybe my motivational music in the morning was like women empowerment music. And that's great to listen to. They have some great lyrics and all of that. But slowly in transition into me listening to maybe putting my Bible app on in the morning, maybe worship music, or maybe even putting on a motivational speaker on YouTube that pertains to my day or helping me get motivated for my day. Because a lot of times, I know for me, I looked at my Spotify because at the end of the year, they give you a rundown on how much music you watch, what artists and things like that. And one of the artists, I listened to him so much, I think it was something like, I don't know, it was a crazy amount of hours. And it just made me look at my day and I'm like, man, I spent that much time listening to his music. And the crazy thing about it, music puts us in moods. And so depending on what we're listening to, that may affect how we're feeling. And so I realized that the best thing for me to do is continuously listen to things that push me towards where I'm going. Because even the time that I'm spending listening to that music is an investment. And the return that I'm getting on it is important. And if the return is not me being positive, not being uplifted, then I don't want it. That's not something I need right now in this series or this season of my life. And I had to do the same thing with what I was watching. There are things that you will watch that will put you in a mood where you just don't feel like doing anything. You may not feel like being business savvy, or it may crush your confidence and you may crawl back into a hole and be like, you know what, maybe I'll start this project next year, or maybe I'll be a content creator next year because you've watched so much of something, or even Instagram, YouTube, all those things that we watch and we consume with our time. If it's not giving us a return on our business, on our goals, on everything that we're trying to achieve, we're wasting our time. We're wasting our investment, which in that case, our investment is time. We're wasting it because we're listening to things that don't push us towards where we're going. And so my goal is to help you find things that do. What can you do with your free time? Can you find a book instead of getting on Instagram? Like, say you use Instagram for business, right? And you need to go down there to post. But the time that you're not posting or interacting with your audience and followers on Instagram, read a book about a topic in your business or go take a class, like a nightly class or an online class to help expand your knowledge in your business. Those are things that are going to give you a great return on your investment. And make sure you're balancing that. So if you're going to work on Instagram, I'm not saying you can't use it for lifestyle and like if you just want to get on and scroll, but limit it. Limit the time on the iPad and the iPhone. Apple, period. They have something called I think it's called screen time, where you can limit and put a block on your phone for how long you're going to stay on the app. And that's something that's going to be helpful. Now, granted, there's a button you can press that says like skip over this time, but you just have to learn the discipline not to do that. So if you're going to say, hey, I'm only going to be on Instagram an hour a day outside of my normal posting for business, then great. Hey, there's balance in this. Use your free time for that if that's what keeps you entertained, but don't spend all your time. I don't know how many of us have looked up before and we've seen ourselves scrolling for 4 hours and we're like, oh, where did the time go? Like, I just been sitting here consuming all of this. And because it's so many photos at once, it's so many videos, so many reels, we're consuming all of this stuff and we have no idea what it's doing to us. That's why a lot of times you'll hear people get off and they're depressed because they've compared their life to everyone that's on Instagram or every video that they saw, or they compared their business, or they compared their content. And so that's not an investment that's going to give you a return that's beneficial for you. And so with your time, the investments that matter is investing back into the knowledge for your business, investing into yourself. Go work out, do some self-care. Those are things that invest back in you with your time. And as an entrepreneur, I would hate, the journey at the beginning can feel long, so I would hate for it to be even longer because you didn't spend your time wisely. And so that's why I'm really pushing this, is because your time is important. Where you spend it, how you spend it, is so important. It's one of the most important things that you're going to look back and realize you invested in your business. And what if it was time that, one, we can't get it back, but thank God we do serve a God that says he can restore the years that the locusts have eaten. But we also want to make sure that we're doing our job and we're being a good steward. God trusts us. And if he trusts you with a business and gave you an idea, but you're using your time to waste it on other things, how can he take your business further? You're already wasting the time he's giving you. How can he push it further? And so even another thing is wasting our time on worrying, or wasting our time in doubt, or wasting our time in fear. Even that can be a waste, because there's so many people who I've read their story or I've heard their story of how they spent 35 years doubting themselves or worrying, and then their career popped off when they finally gave it up, but they look back and there's so much time that they wasted. And I don't want that for y'all. I want y'all to say, you know what? I learned to invest in myself, building my confidence by reading books, by reading the Bible and reading my word. And that confidence helped me get over those fears and worries to now that in my 20s, in my early 30s, I'm able to build this business and I'm able to be successful before what I saw, the generations before me. That's what I hope for all the listeners for the podcast, that you are taking your time serious and you're saying like, hey, no, I want to do differently than what I saw before me. I want to go ahead and invest my time on the front end and not wait too long and regret the time that I spent. So time is an investment that matters. Second, people. And so who are you investing in? Are you investing too much time on the phone, telling all of your dreams and goals, but you're not actually doing them? Or are you investing too much time in people where you're giving them all of your energy? So by the time you get off the phone with them, you don't have time to go do the things you've been trying to do all day. Are you the friend that everyone goes to, or the sister or brother or mother that everyone goes to, and they pour everything out, so at the end of the day, you're holding everyone's, my mom calls it, don't be a trash can, where people dump all their trash in you, and now you have to wait to trash day to dump it or figure out what to do with their trash. And so I'm not saying don't be helpful to people, don't give wise counsel, but there is a balance in it. And what you want is for all of yours to be balanced. You don't want to just be a dumping ground, but no one else pour back into you. So that's an investment in people. How much are you investing in people, and are you investing in the right way? Are you investing in the right relationships? Should you go get a mentor? Should you start surrounding yourself by people who are going in the direction you want to go in, or people that you can learn from? That's an investment that's going to matter in the long run. Who are you hanging around? Who are you listening to constantly? And a lot of times it's so hard for us to break the pattern of the people around us, But that's usually because we are loyal. Like we hold on. Like, no, she's been my best friend since we were in the 6th grade, and I can't let her go. And it's just like I've learned that you don't have to cut off relationships, but you can rearrange how that relationship works. You can restructure how that relationship works, because everybody is not the person that you should be on the phone with every day telling your goals and your dreams with. God will send specific people for specific roles in your life. So maybe you just need to restructure the role they play, but you don't have to completely tear them out of your life. And it took me time to learn that. Initially, I was just like, oh, you gotta go because I got stuff to do. But then I had to realize that's not, sometimes it will take that. But other times, you just have to be mature enough, emotionally mature enough to know, okay, I just need to restructure this. Because I can't be upset that I'm trying to pull something out of somebody who doesn't have it. So you need to invest in the people that have what you're looking for. If you need encouragement, if you need to understand finances better, if you need to know what it takes to build your stock portfolio, whatever knowledge you need, find someone who has it. Build relationships with people who are in your niche when it comes to your career, your business, where you're going. If you have a position on your job that you want to go for that's a higher role, a manager, a director position, find other managers and directors and speak to them. Ask them. Don't be afraid. Hey, what did you do to prepare for that role? Can you teach me a few things? Because in a few years or a few months, I would like to apply for a role in my department doing that same thing. But if you don't ever ask and you only surround yourself with certain people, maybe that's why you are where you are. Because if no one around you is growing, if no one around you is trying to advance, maybe you need to reevaluate who you're investing your time in. What relationships matter? Another thing is, who are you listening to? Because if you're in wrong relationship or you're speaking the wrong things to people, what they are putting in your ear affects your mood, affects your mindset. There are so many people that when people get removed out of their lives or they stop listening to certain people, they advance so fast. And I hear so many, even celebrities, which for me, celebrities are not my model for where I want to be in life. But I will say a lot of them say the same thing. When they stopped listening to what other people thought and had to say and trusted themselves and trusted what God called them to do, that's when they saw advancement in their life. And I feel like it's true. If you're constantly listening to someone who doesn't understand or believe in what God told you, which it wasn't a conference call, so if God told you something, I had to learn you can't get upset if other people don't have that same passion or understanding for it because he didn't tell them. All of our purposes may look different, and so you may have a calling and a passion to help children so strong, and your friends will be like, oh girl, that's cute, that's fun, and you could get upset, but honestly they just don't know because they don't have that same passion. Just like they may have a passion for fashion or doing makeup, and you may think, oh, that's just, that's a cute hobby, but for them they're passionate about it. But it's because that's what God called them to do, or that's a gift that he gave them and made them passionate about it. And so you need to find people who will speak what you need to hear. Speak life, not death. When you give them an idea or you share it with them, they don't start asking you a whole bunch of questions to make you doubt it, but instead they're like, okay, how can I help you? Find some friends that ask you that. When you give them a dream how can I help? How can I assist you? If they can. That's important. That is value that matters. And that is something that you're going to reap a great return on. When you have people who speak positive in your life, speak the word of God in your life, and actually lead you towards the things you want to do, those are the people that are going to have a huge return in your life. You'll remember the words that they said. I still have people now, I'll never forget certain things that they told me, because they made my life better. And so this is one recently, a dear friend of mine said, you have to ask if someone is a weight or if they are wings for you. And what that means are they holding you down, or do they help you fly freely? Do they help you feel lighter? Do they give you wings? And it's so important because some people, we don't even know until they are removed from our life that they've held us down so much. Like we start feeling lighter and freer, and they don't put their constraints on us. Because you may have a business idea and you don't have fear about it, but someone else will come and put their constraints on you because they can't see the vision. And so your investments in your relationships and who you spend your time with, who you listen to, it matters tremendously. And as I'm getting older, I will be 30 this year. Woo-woo. Um, but as I'm getting older, I'm realizing the importance of relationship, and that it's not personal, but just some places that you are going, other people cannot go. It's not for you to crap on them later or say you're better than them, but it's for you to be honest and say, hey, like, our journeys just don't align. It may just be for a season, or it may be for a lifetime, but that doesn't mean, this has to be ugly, but I gotta go. And I always tell myself it's easier for me to choose between, when it comes to God and a friend, because that's how I put it. If it's my purpose and it's something He's telling me to do, then that's a God thing. And then it comes to a friend, I'm choosing God every time. Because I don't even know if I could be blocking something in their life. And so I'm choosing God every time. If He tell me a friendship has to be cut, there's no hard feelings, but baby, you gotta go. Because I trust what He has for me, and I trust what He says about me, and I know that I'm stewarding my time. We only have a selected amount of time on this earth, so I'm stewarding my time, and I'm trying to steward it well, and I don't want to be anywhere too long. I always say that I feel like there are places in life that I've stayed too long, relationships I've stayed too long, and now I refuse to. Because slow obedience is still disobedience. Okay. So, people, investments that matter. It's people. The next one is money, actual investments. Your moolah, how you spend it. Okay, so one of them I want to talk about is sowing into other people's businesses, because a lot of times people don't see that as investments, but I do. Because when I sow that seed in someone else's business and support them, I really believe it sprouts up and I receive the harvest back into my business or back in my life somehow. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be in a year, but regardless, I know when I sow into great ground and great businesses and great ideas of my friends, that somewhere down the line I will see a harvest from it. And so sowing into other businesses, especially a lot of times when you're first starting out, you don't want to sow into another business because you're thinking, I don't have the money. But you can sow your time. Ask your friend, how can you help? Like, I know for me, I don't mind making a flyer for someone's business. I don't mind helping them revamp their website. Whatever I can do to help you advance, I'm willing to do it. Because for me, I always say, how much fun is it if I'm the only millionaire? That's not fun. I'm going to have to pay for everything, okay? So I want all my girls to be with me. We all millionaires, all our families building legacy and building this generational wealth. That's what I want. And so I'm always willing to help another young lady or another woman or another friend with their business and their business ideas, because for me to keep all my knowledge to myself, to me, is selfish, because then it dies with me. But just think, if I have 5 friends and I give them all my business knowledge as well, and then they have children and they pass it down, look how generational that falls. It helps so many people. Then their kids' kids, then my kids' kids. Like, it falls so much deeper, and it doesn't end with me. And I always say, I don't want my life's work to end with me. It's more than just about me. It goes so much further than me. So investing in people with your money and your time. But if you can sow, like, say you only have $100 in your bank account, $10, send them a Starbucks card and just say, hey, for your morning coffee this week, so you can have more time to work on your day. Or buying them a planner. Planners are really cheap at TJ Maxx, Burlington, Target. Buy them a planner to help them stay organized, or whatever you can do to help increase someone else. It really is you'll have a great return off of that. Then, financial resources. So a lot of times, because we don't have a lot when we start, we go ahead and cross out any opportunities that can help us, like financial resources, like picking up a book that'll teach you about stocks. Yeah, the book may cost you $17, but then when you know the right stocks to invest in, you can have $17 times 5, and within 2 days, if you invest in the right stocks. And so I would say invest in financial resources that are going to teach you about stocks. I just learned, really, because I've always known about stocks, but me actually investing and not investing small, because I started with investing like $10, $25 till I got to the thousands investing. And I was investing thousands because I was like, okay, I see this has great return. But I also would say I had to study to know about the different stocks. I had to speak to people who were in finances, in the finance arena, to get some information, to get some help, and get some knowledge about it. And so those are things that you want to invest in with your money. What financial resource can you purchase? Can you purchase a book? You can even go to half price books and get them for like $7 just to have some type of knowledge about where to invest for your stock portfolio. Another thing is investing in savings accounts. You know, some savings accounts require you to put $100 in it, and you need to keep it in it for a certain amount of months before you can pull it out and blah, blah, blah. That's a safe place. Like, now granted, try to find a bank that has a better yield on your interest than, you know, the ones that do like 0.01 or something crazy like that. Like, don't save your money there. You got a better opportunity putting it in the stock every day than doing that. But yeah, speak to a banker. See where you could put money in a savings account and save it. Yeah, it may be $100, but if you eat out every day, if you pay for Apple Music and all of that, then you probably could afford $100 to put into a savings account because it'll grow over time. And so, where you put your money, and even money as in what you're doing every day. So your money, how are you investing in what you eat every day? Are you eating out every day? I had that problem hugely because I was single. I didn't have any kids. I still don't have any kids, but it was easier for me to just cook for one person every day. I mean, to not cook for one person every day and just pick up something, than pulling out pots, pans, and all that to cook. It's a lot for one person. But then I realized that I was spending more money than I needed to. I was investing in the wrong place. So instead, now I cook every day. And I'm investing time, but I'm saving money. So if I can give up one for the other and it's still beneficial, I'm with it, right? So that's a great return on your investment. Stop. If you can cut out some of your eating out, if you can cut out some of your expenses, what's something for a couple of months you can give up? Like if you're paying for like the YouTube without ads, or you're paying for Netflix, or you're paying, because everybody got Netflix. I'm sure you can log into somebody's account, child, because everybody got Netflix. But where can you spare a little bit so that you can start investing that money into something else? And so, investments that matter. Where you put your money every day, right? How much are you drinking Starbucks? When you can buy a bag of Starbucks for $10 at Kroger or Target, and then you can just make your own coffee every day. Also, music. A lot of people pay for Apple Music. Now, granted, the student account I think is like $4.99, like $5, $10. But if you're now gonna switch your listening, like what you're listening to, try Spotify. It's free. You can listen to podcasts, things that actually will give you a return on your investment. That would be great. So cut out Apple Music for a little bit, or whatever subscription you have that you can cut out, whether it's for 6 months or whether it's for a year, for you to use that money to now put into your business, or put into, if you're a content creator, whatever it is that you want to do, where can you put that now to invest where it's actually going to matter? To me, that became something that was very important. I didn't want to keep wasting my money on like subscriptions. And then I started switching subscriptions out that were personal for business. So like Canva, I use it to design a couple of things. So now I pay for a Canva subscription, so I don't pay for Netflix or Hulu. But I do know somebody who got it, so I still watch it. But I substituted it because I knew, okay, I needed that. You know, I needed to pay for the things that matter, which were business items. So that's where I kind of saw a big change, is when I really realized I was investing in my business by using my own money. I knew I was serious then. So that's another thing. You're serious when you start taking your money to invest in something that you can't technically see a return on today, but you hope that it comes, right? And so start using your money for investments that matter, which is stocks, sewing into other people, and also exchanging your time, like cooking, instead of going out every day for food, making your coffee at home. People say little things like that don't matter, but to me it did. Because not only did it matter in the sense that I saved money, but it taught me discipline. I have to plan my meals out. I have to sit down and cook. It actually made me healthier. Like, it's crazy how much energy I have now to wake up on time and do the things I need to do when I cut out processed foods. When I was eating at home and actually cooking and, using olive oil and not fatty grease from a burger joint or something like that. So it actually was a return on my investment, and it matters. So I just want you all to keep that in mind. If you have any questions, like I always say, DM me on Instagram, email me, also Facebook. My business has a Facebook. It's Clarissa's Creative Consulting on Facebook. So if you want to message me on there, I'll actually check that as well. So however you want to get in contact, but remember, the investments that matter are your time, people, and money. So ask yourself this week, write it down: time, people, money. How are you spending it? And are you getting a return on your investment? And if not, where can you start making changes? How fast can you start making the changes? Let me know. And if you have any questions, hit your girl up. But that is the end of this episode 4, where we discuss investments that matter. I will see y'all next week. As always, we're here every Tuesday. So make sure you join in on the conversation and share the podcast with a friend. That is so important. Make sure you share this with someone who needs it. Thank you. Have a great day.